You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Syracuse basketball already added one center in the transfer portal. He's the only player that Syracuse has so far added in the portal. 6'9", athletic big from UCLA. There's a mini podcast on him. Of course, I am talking about William Kyle. However, William Kyle could be the only addition that Syracuse makes at the center position, but I don't think he prevents them from going after other centers in the portal. Like, I don't think Syracuse basketball is sitting here all fat and happy after getting William Kyle saying we got our savior at the center position. I believe that if there is someone else out there that is interested in them and they are interested in, and there's a match there, that Syracuse basketball would of course, look into it. Unfortunately, there's really only one center that Syracuse is kind of connected to right now. And the only reason why they're kind of connected to this guy is because he's a local kid, kind of similar to Dejour Reaves, the point guard. Of course, I am talking about Quincy Ballard, 6'11", 240 pounds from Wichita State. And of course, he is from Syracuse, New York, just like Dejour Reaves. He fits in the category of can defend, but not shoot. I won't lie to you all, while it would be amazing to get a center that could shoot from beyond the arc, that's not necessarily a requirement for Syracuse basketball. Okay? Ballard is a really good defender. Last 2 years, he's led the AAC in blocks per game. And in 2025, he got an Evan Maya defensive grade of 1.72. That was good for 8th in the conference. 2024, he got a defensive grade of 1.05. That was good for 26th in the league. So he certainly got better from 2024 to 2025 on defense. But let's say, optimistic, Syracuse basketball lands Quincy Ballard. I think we'd all be pretty happy if they got Quincy Ballard, but the question becomes, which one are you getting? If you get the 2025 version, the guy who averaged 10 and 9 a game and was a monster defensively, you're getting a really good center and one that is going to be worth every penny that you pay him, because that's the type of player that could be an all-conference big. Elite defender, elite shot blocker, could score a little, can rebound well. It's pretty good, right? You'd take that. But what if you get the 2024 version of Quincy Ballard? The 2024 version of Quincy Ballard isn't exactly bad. I'm not trying to suggest that at all. It still had a positive 1 defensive grade on Evan Maya. That's pretty good. He averaged 7 points a game. He averaged 6 rebounds a game in 22 minutes. That's solid, right? But the center market, of course, is really inflated. So at that point, you might be getting an above average center that'll probably be overpaid. So that's kind of the issue with Quincy Ballard. It's not that he's a bad player. It's which one are you getting? Are you getting the 2025, one that is an elite center? Or are you getting 2024, which is a good center? Could certainly help Syracuse. He would definitely be their starting big. But at the end of the day, probably a little bit overpaid at that point.